it was just a primary race and it was just for mayor. But what happened in New York City could offer a glimpse at what lies ahead for American politics. Last night, 33-year-old Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani snagged a decisive lead in the Democratic primary for mayor, beating out establishment candidate Andrew Cuomo. The final results won't be known until early July due to the city's ranked choice voting system. However, Cuomo conceded the race to his opponent after the first round of voting. Joining us now is Tom Bevan, the co-founder and president of RealClearPolitics. Tom Bevan, thank you for joining us. First off, a young, progressive, left-wing candidate beat out an older, established Democrat, and many on the left say this race should be a wake-up call for the Democratic Party. What would you say to that?
Well, it definitely was a bit of a surprise. I mean, he was polling when this race started, he was an asterisk in the polls and really came on late with the endorsement of AOC and Bernie Sanders and many in the progressive left. And as you mentioned, Andrew Cuomo, who got the backing of Bill Clinton and Mike Bloomberg and sort of the more establishment Democrats, didn't perform well at all. He absolutely got killed in this race. And as you mentioned, conceded right away. So Democrats are split on this. There are many Democrats who say, look, this is the future. We need to embrace it. Folks on the left wing, they're excited about him. Other Democrats are worried that this is going to push the party even further left, and that if they don't find a way to prevent Mamdani from becoming mayor with a centrist candidate of some sort, including backing Eric Adams, who's going to be running in the general election as an independent, that they will taint themselves and won't be much of a national party for the 2026 and 2028 elections.
Mamdani describes himself as a democratic socialist. Tom, can you explain to us what that leftist movement specifically believes?
Well, he believes that the state should control things and provide. I mean, he's run his campaign basically on the affordability in New York, and his solutions for that are raising the minimum wage to $30 an hour, giving free bus and transportation rides, establishing a citywide network of grocery stores to drive down the price of groceries. He wants universal child care, and he wants to freeze rent. So he's promised all of these goodies, but he hasn't proposed a single way that this would get paid for, other than taxing the rich, which would only get them so far. And obviously, the net effect of that would be driving some high earners out of the state of New York, as they have been fleeing over the past few years to Florida. So it would exacerbate a problem that's already existing.
We should note that Mamdani did not capture a majority of the votes. Does that indicate that the Democratic Socialism still does have an upward fight ahead?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, as you mentioned, so this was the first round. And so as candidates are eliminated, Brad Lander, who was the other candidate, and they had sort of made a pact, he and Mamdani had made a pact. I think Mamdani's going to end up with over 50% of the vote, certainly. In the end, we'll see how high it goes. But look, this is where the energy in the party, again, he's young, he's charismatic. He ran a very good campaign. He was very focused on social media and the like. And he got a good response from young voters across the city of New York. So this is where the energy is in the party. As you see, as I mentioned, AOC and Bernie Sanders out flying around, holding these fight the oligarchy rallies. But the question is, does that make them out of the mainstream for national elections? And will a far left progressive running the biggest city in America, how will that impact Democratic politics nationally?
We have less than a minute left, Tom, but how do you foresee this impacting midterms?
Well, I mean, in the short term, there could be spillover to the New Jersey governor's race, which is happening this November right across the river. And Republicans, think they might have a chance of winning that race. That's a state that shifted 10 points in the 2024 election in favor of Donald Trump. They have a candidate in Jack Ciarelli who only lost by 3 points the last time he ran. So they're hopeful that they would have a good showing there, and they may be able to leverage Mamdani if he ends up winning this race, as he's expected to do, leverage his progressive ideology in their favor in that New Jersey governor's race. But again, we'll see how it goes for national politics as well.
We will see. Tom Bevan, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Though Democratic Socialists claim to be distinct from traditional socialists, there is still a lot of crossover between the two, including collective ownership of the economy. The Church has been clear in its condemnation of traditional socialism. In his famous 1891 encyclical on capital and labor, Rerum Novarum, Pope Leo XIII said it is clear that the main tenet of socialism, community of goods, must be utterly rejected, since it only injures those whom it would seem meant to benefit, is directly contrary to the natural rights of mankind, and would introduce confusion and disorder into the common weal. The first and most fundamental principle, therefore, if one would undertake to alleviate the condition of the masses, must be the inviolability of private property. Though Pope Leo XIII spoke against socialism, he did also condemn unrestrained capitalism that would exploit the worker in favor of the wealthy.